West Sport with Eaton-Evans and Morris Solicitors. We are back live right now on the Pure West Radio Facebook page. Good to have your company. A big thank you to Alan Jones for joining us as well. That video will stay on the Facebook page. Excellent to talk to him. Doing brilliantly in golf and representing Wales as well in that seniors tournament. But let's get to football now. And it is that time of the year where pre-season action gets underway. Pembrokeshire famous, of course, for its pre-season tournaments. Fraser, actually, I think probably the first scoreline for us of this pre-season as well in the Eddie Merry Memorial Cup, and that was a win for Goodwick.
Yeah, Pembrokeshire Division 1 champions Goodwick beating Ffostrasol tonight, actually 2-0 down in Fishguard, the Eddie Merry tournament this week. Fishguard then playing Monkton, I think, tomorrow, with that final on Friday. So, yeah, Goodwick back in the groove of things straight away, it seems.
Good stuff. So that final will be Friday, as Fraser says. Monkton playing Fishguard in the other semi-final, and then we've got the Joe Lennon Cup as well, which is next week. St Tish against Herbrandston, Hakin against Milford United. So for all our local sides, Fraser, time to fine tune ahead of the new season, and good to see them back in action.
Yeah, these pre-season tournaments do tend to double up as preparation, really, for clubs now. You know, they're good ways of getting crowds in. There's a bit of extra spice on them because the characters who are known, that brings in maybe some more people. And, you know, you look at the Joe Lennon one. We've spoken about Joe Lennon before on this show. Gordon will remember him well, too, as, you know, one of the great men of Pembrokeshire football. And Gordon will say, despite the fact that Hakin have won it every single year, except for the first one, where you had the fairy tale finish with Joff Lennon scoring the winning penalty for Milford. You know, despite the fact Hakin have dominated it since, you still get a big crowd down there. You know, it shows the esteem that Joe is held in, and it shows that the interest that his things, and they're good ways to pay tribute to local characters, these tournaments. And like I said, they serve a purpose as well because they get clubs pre-season preparation underway.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good point, that, Gordon, actually, isn't it? That it keeps these sort of legendary figures around Pembrokeshire football. It keeps their name around the scene, doesn't it? It's a great way to remember them, I think.
Yeah, definitely, and you're right. And it's nothing like having competitive football before the season starts, and these competitions are ideal for that. You know, and there's a lot of clubs. My old mate Steve Weaver Callan down in Monkton, I'm sure they'll be having theirs shortly, and in Claverson Road, Michael Thomas Memorial, they'll be having theirs. So, you know, it is good, and it gives them a good start. Yeah, and the John Bailey down in Goodwick, they'll be having that as well. So there's a lot of clubs have their pre-season tournaments as a way of introducing them to get ready for the Pembrokeshire League season that kicks off in usually the first weekend of September. So it's just around the corner.
Well, listen, if you're involved in any of these pre-season tournaments, do get in touch with us. Leave us a message on the Facebook page. We'd love to give some of these tournaments some coverage. But one side who are having a brilliant pre-season are Haverfordwest County. This has been an incredible run, hasn't it, in the Europa Conference League? A brilliant performance to qualify for this stage, winning the penalty shootout in Cardiff, and then last Thursday going to the Faroe Islands, taking on B36 and going down 2-1. I thought it was an excellent effort again. Martel Taylor Crosdale scoring the crucial goal. Away goals don't actually count anymore in Europe in the same way they used to. But what it does mean is it's 2-1 and all to play for. And Fraser, I thought that was a pretty monumental performance actually from the Bluebirds, because they were playing a side whose domestic season is up and running, playing on a 4G surface so they could ping the ball around. And Haverfordwest just stayed in the game and deserved, I think. They earned the right to get a goal and to still be in the tie next week. Or this
100%. I thought they really did dig in there when they were up against it at 2-0. The Tigers really got away with them. In fact, in the first half, you were worried if they scored quickly after the first goal that it could end up being all over by the second leg. They hung in there and they knew they needed something at 2-0, and they came out and played and showed some threat in those last 20 minutes. You know, and they'll take a lot of heart from that because they can hurt this team when they go forward. So I think they'd have been delighted with that, both with the way they hung in there and, of course, with the way they did respond and did show some prowess going forward. And I think we might see a very similar tie this time around to what we saw in the first round. I think they'll try and hang in there again. They'll keep it at 0-0. I think Haverfordwest, the longer it goes 0-0, they'll feel that suits them more, and they'll try and grab something. And they did show the potential that they can grab something.
I think they'll take so much from it, and they'll take the fact that they did similar against Skendeja in the previous round. They stayed in the game, nicked a goal. Gordon, I picked a few out just after the game on Twitter. I thought the whole side worked so hard, but I picked out Lee Jenkins, Ricky Watts, I thought was outstanding, and he was the week before as well.
Well, Ricky Watts had his stag do the week before that as well. So, you know,
he did.
He was in fine shape. So my message to Tony Pennock is make sure he has a couple of pints before the game.
I thought he was outstanding though, Gordon. And,
he was.
Yeah, and the one you mentioned just off air just then, Kai Whitmore, the new number 8 for the Bluebirds. He looks a useful player, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a good engine on him, and you know, he works hard and he doesn't waste passes as well. So he's a really talented kid. Tony's done well to bring him in. The other thing I'd like to mention is that they're playing fully professional outfits as well in this European competition. Haverfordwest, despite them being our professionals, they are semi-professionals. They're not fully professional. Perhaps in a few years' time, our ambitious chairman, or I shouldn't say our because it's not part of my club, it's Haverfordwest County's club. Perhaps they are thinking of going professional.
Pembrish's club, Gordon, yeah.
It would be interesting to see how that would pan out.
Yeah, absolutely, and he is ambitious, isn't he, Rob? And I think they are getting their rewards. Listen, we haven't got loads of time. At half time, I thought this was ridiculous. Tony Pennock tweeted about it. So did Rob Edwards. The dressing room was locked, so they couldn't get in. Now, Gordon, I know you're going to say that happened in your day. Yeah, but there was no UEFA delegate in your day, was there? Come on, that's not acceptable in a European match, is it?
No, it's not acceptable. Not in this day and age. We have to be snowflake society, don't we? We have to be perfect.
Don't lock teams out of the dressing room.
I tell you what, there's loads of antics go on, and Tony Pennock has been through a lot of it being an ex-professional. He handled it brilliantly, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I know there won't be any sort of shenanigans going on at Cardiff City because, after all, I was in the changing room as Mickey Ellis, who was with him as well. So Mickey will not be startled by what happened out there. I can tell you that now.
Come on, Phrase. If the hot water isn't working at Cardiff City on Thursday, that'd be okay, won't it?
Well, I'd ask Chris County to go back in time a bit and try going down to Milford Athletic in the turn of the century and see what changing rooms and treatment they get there. Like being locked out of the change for a few minutes. God said some of the places drivers did play.
Some might say that was a lucky escape down there, but that's no offence to Milford Athletic.
No, absolutely, they weren't the only ones to tell you now. Like, there's obviously some games and shit went on. I don't expect it to be reciprocated down here. They're angry and they want to respond on the field. There'd be no better way, would there?
It's going to be some night. Hopefully, I think we're all going to be there on Thursday to cheer the Bluebirds on as well. It was a brilliant effort against Scandisia the Thursday before last. Let's see. It could be another famous night, couldn't it? Again, they're going to need to be on it, but they're still in the tie, and I think they've done Pembroke and the Cymru Premier League proud, haven't they already? So let's keep fingers crossed. We are right behind the Bluebirds. Can they do it again? Will we have another late night show in Cardiff on Thursday? We hope so. Listen, I think we're pretty much done for this Monday evening as well. So next week we'll be reflecting on that Haverfordwest game. We've also got a game on Sunday, by the way, against Cardiff City under 21s as well. So we'll follow that one as well. Have an excellent rest of your Monday. Enjoy it on Thursday if you're going down to Cardiff. Gordon and Fraser, hope to see you both down there as well in fine voice. Thank you for your company tonight. We will be back again next Monday, 7 until 9 on Pure West Sport. It's Chris Pritchford's Solid Gold Sounds on the way next.